Oh, what the hell is going on here now? Oh, I don't know what's going on here.
Howdy.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am living the dream. I hope you are.
Always, always, always. Okay. I must say, though, I got exciting stuff planned for you today. And this is going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I just spoke to somebody who's been in business a couple of years. And man, she just spent. Is your video coming up?
Oh, sorry, it's not up.
No. I was looking at a very snappy picture of you. Oh, there you go. She spent almost $20,000 on this program where they taught her, like, if you were a really good speaker from stage, then you could grow your list because you'd be this great speaker and people want to know more about you. And so you grow the list. Now she has no back end, no messaging sorted out or anything like this. And she spent almost like $20,000. Technically, they're right. If you're a great speaker from stage, it grows your list. However, you're up against other great speakers and you have to have a back end for somewhere for these people to go. So
Right.
they didn't outright lie to her, but they got the cart way ahead of the horse. So,
Wow.
and I see that all day, every day. And then I'm just really thankful for people like you that you're not going to end up in the same hot mess that she's in. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, how have your last 2 weeks been?
Good
Or
and
your
busy.
last week? Last week. I don't
Yep,
know
it's
why I said
good
two.
and busy. Very busy. We finished up one of the biggest projects of the year on
Wow.
Tuesday. So that had me kind of balls to the wall for a long time, but it's done.
Yes. Yes. I laugh because my mother, she's not a feminist, but she finds some things offensive. Like, what's
Oh,
a,
for real.
oh, she'll say something like, when somebody says, oh, that took balls, she'll say, why don't they say that took vagina? It's
Right,
like, I
right.
don't know, mom. It doesn't have the same ring. Let's just
Okay,
stick.
it makes sense.
Let's just stick with the one we have for now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you've been busy but you've still been on social media, correct?
Yeah, I have.
Here and there.
Yep.
Is your energy just because you are tired and you've been busy?
Yeah, like I'm, yes and yes. I need rest, and I'm dealing with some personal things that's draining my energy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So, but
Okay. Fair enough. Good to know.
but some
Uh,
most time we talk, it's just it starts off like this. It's just
oh, then I light you up?
yeah.
Okay.
It's just take
No,
some
I just
time.
like to know where you're at. It doesn't change what I give you, but it just helps me know where you're at. Because sometimes people say, well, I don't want to mention it, but I'm not feeling well. Or it just helps me know where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I want to start I want to move everything as fast as I can for you. And there's things that we should do, like read, kind of like reading a book, and there's different chapters. But I want to go to this chapter, rip out a page, and go to this chapter and rip out a page just to get you through the book quicker. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. You can skim those pages. The hero shows up. He's going to be the good guy. We know that. Let's move to the next chapter, right? So with you, what I want to start doing is we've purchased the whole basement to balcony. I want to start building out what would be your sales page, which is like your web page. Like, really, it's all about funnels now. So I want to start building that out. And because what I'd like to do is, as we're doing that, then once I get that up and running, we could really, I want to get you out there testing your message. I want to get you on podcasts. I really just want to start getting that message stronger and stronger and building social proof and doing all that stuff. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of things at the same time. Now, to start there, something really basic is we need to have a logo. All right. So today I just want to get some ideas to help you equip to go get your logo. I would just suggest go get it at 99 Design or whatever, because they're simple. They can compete. Have you dealt with them before?
No, my graphic designer friends will definitely
Hook you up?
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
not only hook me up, but they will probably get in my ass if they find that I
No, if you've got people, then go to the people.
all
No,
right.
no, I just didn't know you had people. Of course, no
Yeah,
problem. I just meant like if you got nobody, let's start here. But if you got
got you.
somebody, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Most people just don't have those assets. Okay. So are you comfortable?
Like,
Sorry.
shut up.
It looks like a meme, like your hands get so
Oh,
big. um, what I just want you to think about is what do you want people to feel when they see your brand? So, like for me, it was really big with win the hour, win the day. Productivity, team building, all that stuff is so dry and boring. It's like being on a diet, be organized, be disciplined. And I wanted mine to be the exact opposite of that. I wanted it to be like every day is a new day. There's great hope, there's great freshness. Productivity is easy. It's about lifestyle freedom, all that stuff. So it was really important to me. It's almost like now I look at it, the yellow was like a sunset and all this other stuff. Just, I wanted it to be refreshing and eye catching and hopeful. So I didn't know anything about that when I was like, those are the feelings I wanted. And then I got the graphic designers start throwing me stuff that would help me create those feelings. So I want to talk to you today about, what do you want people to feel when they see that logo? Because it's also a logo with a fair amount of words like mine, win the hour, win the day. Basement to balcony's got a lot of letters. So we need to keep it really clean, but powerful.
feel. I want them to feel a sense of pressing the easy button,
Okay. I like that.
but I want them to feel a sense of urgency and edginess at the same time.
Okay. Okay. And when you think about that, just at instinct, what kind of colors do you think about?
Definitely urgency. I see the reds and the oranges, and of course the yellows, all of the warm colors. The easy button, I see the more peaceful and serene colors, the blues and greens. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Now, how long have you been wearing your red glasses?
probably 3 weeks,
Oh, really?
2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah,
Okay. I wasn't sure one week. I was like, I was new, but they're so visually impressive. Like
yeah,
they really do stand out, right? So I was like, oh no, we must have had them before. Like they give you some pop, right?
yeah. I love it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Hold on a second here. Let's see those. Just pulling up a sales page. My computer's slow. After. Okay. So let's talk about. Let me get this new page here. Let me just show you my Scooby. Oh my gosh. Share my screen. We finally got it together now. Computers are great when they work. So here's news in my world. Next week, I'm interviewing Kevin Harrington for my podcast, the guy, Shark Tank guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thanks.
That is good
Don't know if you
news.
know more than the Shark Tank. He's the guy that he was the creator and founder of As Seen on TV, like all those products, those
Oh
crazy products.
really?
As Seen on, yeah, that's why he was on Shark Tank, because he's the guy from As Seen on TV. He created all that.
Jeez.
That was his thing. And he only sold it like when TV started to take a dive with online streaming. He sold it like 5 years ago. But yeah, that's why he's the man he is.
Wow.
So here is my sales page for the outsourcing playbook for busy entrepreneurs. Okay. So what we have here is, we want to be looking at, now this is a sales page for a product, but it's very similar, for anything. It's just where the direction is going for instead of websites, because what we want to do is take someone down a really clear path and get them hooked and then get them to take an action. Whereas a website, you tend to turn like a brochure, they read a little bit here, read a little bit there, but you don't control their path. And you get like, I don't know, 2 seconds to make an impression, and you can't make them take an action when there's all that information. So you want it to be linear, and you want to be really controlling the information that they get when they get it. So just to get an idea of what we'll be looking for when you're looking at a well done sales page, here you got like a big hook, and then you start kind of identifying the audience, like, okay, create a real business page that supports, create a real business that supports your life instead of consuming it, even if you're bootstrapping it right now. So what we're doing is introducing an objective, saying, don't worry, even if this is you think you're the exception, you're not. I can hear you sighing. You don't believe me. We're 3 lines in. Believe it or not, I've heard what you're thinking. You might be like Steve, the exhausted entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. How about Jill, been burned before? Or maybe you're like Michael, where cash is tight. Or Sharon, ain't got time for that. And then I explain their little scenarios so people can kind of relate to it, like, oh yeah, that is me. Because that's the first thing everyone does. Oh no, my story is different, right? So then I go into, does this sound like you? You're busy putting out fires, trying to grow your business, zoning out when you're with family, thinking about your business. And these are all things that obviously through market research and identifying that my ideal audience, can relate to. So I make sure that I get them, that, oh my gosh, she's talking to me, that kind of stuff, right? And you like the idea of getting help out there, but no one else can do things the way you can. Your business better than anyone. You can't trust anyone with your baby, blah, blah, blah. So guess what? Hiring somebody is rife with problems. There's this, all this stuff. But even if you find the right person to manage, train them, how will you keep up when you've got so many projects you haven't even started? So because let's face it, you want to play big. So this is all really strategic and very specific formula for a really particular reason. Okay. So then we're scrolling down. We identify again, you want to have lasting, impact on your audience, and then I say, okay, because I know where you are because I was there once too. Boom, boom, boom. And even how the wording, why some words are bolded while some are underlined, why this isn't all easy to read. It's not flowing pretty. It's got disruption in the copy, it's all there for a really specific purpose, right? And the coloring, all that stuff. So fast forward 90 days from now, this is the life you could be living, blah, blah, blah. That can be your reality, being able to afford higher talent you need, getting ideas to execution, making more money in less time, all this other stuff, right? So then we say introducing the outsourcing playbook for busy entrepreneurs, that type of stuff. So craft the perfect job posting, get the right person, more results, less you, great subtitle, all this other stuff, right? So really when done well, and then we go into the modules, what each module will give you. Now, this is a sales page for an info product. So obviously you're not going to have modules, but a lot of this you are going to have. And what I want you to understand is it's this, and it's going to be done and redone. So we want to get enough of one done that we can get it up and I can start teaching you how to do, some pitches and get on some podcasts, because not only will it do so many things for you at one time, it will test your audience. It will really solidify relationships. When you get to be on somebody's podcast, there's really, it accelerates the relationship, like from first date to fifth date, because you've had a meaningful conversation, especially you. you're going to be great on podcasts because you're just a great talker, you're a good storyteller, and you can get a lot of people that are good at what they do, but they're not interesting or conversational. So what happens when you come through the door, someone like yourself, podcasters will love you because when you make the show interesting, it can't be interesting without an interesting guest, right? And I've done that in the past on my own show where kind of like there's a reason I should have this person on the show. Maybe I was on theirs, or for some reason, like it would leverage, like there's some reason where I feel like obligated to do this. And it's just like trying to light a wet match. It's like, oh my God, I'm pretty high energy, but I can't make you interesting. I can't carry you. Right. So people are going to love you. And then when you're done the interview, you would be surprised how much business, especially when you're really getting to sell yourself through this show. And the first person who's listening is the interviewer. So you also may come away with business from the interviewer, never mind their audience and never mind that you're testing it, but you'll get a lot of information of what questions they hook onto. Like, oh, sorry, explain that to me again, because I always thought videos, blah, 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 or basement to balcony, blah, 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 right? So you're really going to get a lot of feedback based on what pieces that they expand or what they skip over, right? But more than anything, you're going to be connecting one really solid relationship at a time. And then all of a sudden they know other podcasters and they'll help you get another show. So this is huge, right?
Okay.
So sound good so far?
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to not have this bottom part because it's not about a product, but all the other hooks and stuff like that are the same. As well as when we scroll down here, scrolling. We want to have some social proof, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, here's when Kevin Harrington interviewed me, but now I'm going to be interviewing him. So I've got some videos from people. I mean, you're a video guy. You're going to get videos from people. Like, it can't get easier than this, right? So I've got some videos from people, past clients, perceived influencers, all this other stuff, right? So this stuff will be some homework for you that I want you to start thinking of any quote that you can get from any client. We want to get and it's wonderful because we just grab their picture off LinkedIn, get some quotes, and then any video. Like, oh my gosh, we just want to have, the more we can have, the better, right?
Yeah, we got video testimonial for days.
Perfect. That's what I expected. Okay. So then let's go up here and let's start creating some copy for you. Now, this is a rather big undertaking, but I think we usually do it a little bit later, but with you, I really just want to get it up as fast as we can. Okay. So where my thing go here? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe if I didn't have 400 tabs open, it might help. That is. Sorry, my computer is being funny. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So let's talk about, one of your homeworks are, we're going to start working on logo, gathering video. The shorter, the better. And if you got tons, maybe a variety of lengths. We want to tap into the emotion. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about what's the big pain points of your audience.
Let me see. Let me go back. Go back in my notes. I thought we had
Sure.
talked about that one time before. Problem was, nope, that's your stuff. Pain points. They just don't know how to tell their story. Um, they um,
Why does that matter?
why does that matter?
Yeah.
Because I do. Because I do know how to tell a story.
So if I don't know how to tell my story, how does it impact my business?
Oh, because you can't get your message out, like, you know, in a compelling way.
Are you tired? Okay. Is some of their complaints like, if I could just get in front of, whatever, like,
Yeah, I've
is
heard that
that what
before.
they're think? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I've heard that before. Like, they got a good product or service that they offer, and um, yeah, if I can get this in front of these corporations, then I'll be good. Or if I can get my product or service in front of this group of event planners or something like that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. All right. Tell me more about their complaints and their pain points.
pain points. You know what'd be good? I think if I just look through my, okay, uh, some of my clients, some of my clients, like they they don't have the they don't have enough money to hire hire somebody to do their video work or podcasting work. So we do consultations where we help them set up their equipment and teach them how to work it.
Okay. So in this case, I want you to think of one person, and you may have different niches, but for this, we can only tell one thing at one person. So
One
in this
service.
case, one service. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to video. So
Oh,
pain points. I would have to ask them. Like I would literally send out a few text messages and be like, before you hired me, what were some of your pain points? And I would see what they say because I don't
okay.
want
So you can do that. I would also say that really should be a big part of your sales process.
to. Yeah.
So let's back up for a second here. One of my downfalls is, I always tell people your strength is also your weakness, right? So it's all great that I'm a high energy and stuff, but let me first of all tell you that's hard to sleep at night. Like, okay, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Right.
Crap, I'm not tired, right?
Right.
So it's a hard way to live, right? Because I'm like, is it morning yet? I mean, this is how I sleep when I'm excited. And I can be excited about, like, there's a special needs kid across the street. I just moved here, and it's a sad story. Anyways, he loves Pepsi, and somebody talked to Pepsi guy to come with a truck, and the guy got off the truck and gave him a cap. Well, my God, you think Santa Claus came down the pipe? Like, it was unbelievable. I found these Pepsi socks on Amazon. I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, just 2 more days. I can't wait. Oh my God, this little kid's gonna be so excited. All right. Like, it doesn't take much to get me excited. I'm excited about everything.
Yeah.
That's my strength, my weakness. So in sales, one of my problems is when you tell me what you got going on, your pain points, I have had to learn painfully to keep my mouth shut because I want to jump in with a solution. I literally will interrupt you to tell you, you may have 5 pain points. I let you get to number 2. And I'm like, yeah, we can solve that. Oh my gosh, I'd hate to see you suffer. Blah, right? So what I've had to learn, and I'm still learning it, and it was interesting because I did it yesterday, is when they're talking, I just keep saying, okay, so tell me why you wanted to meet with me today. Okay, I want to hear about your pain points. And they'll tell me something. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay, yeah. And what happens when that, okay. And why is that important? Tell me more. Tell me more. Then when they give all that to me, the old me would have all the characteristics of my training. Oh, we do funnels and we do this. And I would overwhelm you with stuff that you don't know. Because if you understood all that, you wouldn't need me. And I'd give you an instant headache because it would seem overwhelming. But I'm excited. I want to show you my inventory. Now, after I say, tell me more, then I go, you know what? You're going to love us. because that's exactly what we do. We deal with people just like you. And then I just repeat back exactly everything they just told me. And now they don't even recognize that they just told. And the reality is, I won't lie, we do all that. It's just before I was filling with technical terms, right? So, when they're saying, somebody was saying yesterday, oh my gosh, I'm spending all this money, 55, 65 bucks an hour on somebody, and I'm not even getting, it's just horrible. They don't know what they're doing. I keep firing people every 6 months. I'm in the same spot. Well, that's exactly what we do. We deal with people just like you. And what happens is, blah, blah, and I give a few examples of people just like her, but I just recite it back to her. So we're skipping over a lot of subjects with you because I just want to grab the best. With you, order matters nothing. I think you have so many assets. You're a smart guy. You can keep up. So I'm not doing it in a linear way with you. I'm just grabbing inventory as I see it as I'm running through the house. So we're going to skip back and forth a lot just because it would serve you best.
All right.
So with the sales, as we step back there, if you don't do anything else during the sales process at all, you constantly want to hear more and more and more about their pain points, because their pain points are dollars in your pocket, because they will tell you what you can do for them, because maybe you're just selling them one video package, but maybe one of their pain points is, yeah, we've been here before. We get a good video. We think we can reuse it. And we find out 6 weeks later, we don't even know how to reuse it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, we have this other thing, right? So it teaches you what they need now, what they'll need in the future, what the next person needs. And so what we want to be having with you is a whole value ladder. People come in at this price and this price and this price. We want to always have an extended relationship. The first time somebody makes a sale, that purchase with you, that's not it. That's just the beginning. That's not like, oh, we got a sale. It's the beginning of hopefully a really long relationship. And in order to know what those needs are, you have to know what their pain points are.
Okay.
Make sense?
Of course. Yep.
Yeah. So I would keep, and I would have a little piece of paper in place to keep your notes and stuff like that, because these pain points are everything on every level. These are the things that are going to be your intro with the podcast, or if you write an article, or when you do your own video, or when you do your stuff on social media, because the pain points that they're sharing with you are the pain points somebody else has, but they just don't know you're the solution.
All right. Okay.
They might think, oh my gosh, if I get more virtual coffees, I need to be in more freaking Facebook groups because I need to get in front of these people. And you're saying, yeah, you know what? Are you out there thinking, how can I get in front of more people? Maybe it's Facebook groups, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but you don't have time for that. What if every day you could be in front of hundreds of people looking your best and sounding your absolute best, and it doesn't take even 5 minutes of your time? Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about, basement to balcony, is I'm talking about how to get your message out in a compelling way that really resonates with your ideal client again and again. It's like having an army of salespeople out representing you in the very best light, point on with your message, in a way you never thought could be done before, and takes no time out of your calendar. Because I've worked with people like you all the time, and they're just saying, look, I don't have time to be in another Facebook group. I don't have time to take more meetings. I got to be doing the work that I've got, but yet I need more work. Well, basement to balcony. And then you start hitting all their pain points. Pain point. So the pain point is going to be key in our sales page. It's going to be key in your podcast.
Okay.
But it's key in your sales process. So I would reach out to them and definitely ask them that. And the most amazing thing too is you'll start to see what the themes are, and you're going to start to hear it in words that maybe you wouldn't have used.
Okay.
And that's worth everything.
Okay.
Even for me, the difference between small business person and entrepreneur, light and day.
Right.
I kind of think on entrepreneur, I always felt like an entrepreneur is somebody like invented the iPhone. Like but now it's just not how it's used, right? I never loved small business because I feel like saying, who says I'm small? But I get what they're saying, right? Mm-hmm. So, but how people resonated with it, my audience resonates much more with entrepreneur versus small business. So I was hitting the wrong market there. So even hearing when somebody says, well, as an entrepreneur, I do this, they don't say as a small business owner, my audience doesn't anyhow. right? So
Yep.
these things really, really matter. So you're going to notice themes, you're going to need pain points, you're going to notice real frustrations, you're going to notice things that they're embarrassed to tell you. Well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm uncomfortable in front of video. Like maybe men are embarrassed to tell you they're uncomfortable in video. Maybe women are saying, well, I want to lose weight first. You know what I mean? Who
Yep.
knows? So you might have a completely different market message saying, you're not comfortable in front of video. You want someone else to tell your story. You want to wait till you lose 10 pounds. Well, I'm here to tell you, blah, blah, blah. It might be something like that. You just don't know.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep. And as you're talking, I'm
Okay.
thinking of different things that
Yeah.
why people have called. So this is good.
Okay. This will change everything for you. I'm not kidding you. All
Yeah.
right. So pain points are huge, 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 huge. Okay. Let's see. And we want to talk about their pain points, and we want to talk about their past failures. And we'll call it something different. But really, what have they tried before and it didn't work?
Yeah.
Because that's different than pain points, right? So it'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, like that poor lady before you. Like, those people didn't lie to her. Sure, if she could be a great keynote speaker, that would grow her list. But she's 6 months into having a business. That's not the list she needs. It's like friggin' buying Michael Jordan shoes, like to go to the YMCA. I don't need $200 basketball shoes to try to lose 10 pounds in a mommy friggin' bouncing class,
Right.
right? So she spent all this money to get up on stage. Okay, they didn't rob her, but she didn't need that now.
Okay.
So, what are their past failures? What have they wasted their money on? What has failed? It could be other video people that oversold them the production. It could be all day long not knowing how to do social media, not having an interest in social media. It could be anything, right? It could be their sales. It could be whatever.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then we want to talk about, what excites these people. So they want, more business, right? I read something. Oh, something. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Sorry. It's my egg guy in a meeting till 4. I have a chicken guy. I have a guy that delivers eggs from his farm to my doorstep.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It is cool, but here's a funny story. About a month ago, he delivers it on Thursday. So he sends me a message. I am so sorry. I hope you don't mind. My wife gave birth last night. Is it okay if we deliver your eggs tomorrow?
Wow.
Like, well, I was going to have an omelet.
Right.
I think I could do okay. I think I'll push through.
Right.
Okay. All right. So what excites them? More business, the idea of people reaching out to them, looking professional, competing. It might be competing with the big boys. I'm so afraid of everything I say now. The big leagues, right? Just what's the big payoffs here?
You're asking me, or you're?
Yeah, I'm asking you, and for
Okay.
you to, if you don't know, to ask them.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
Yeah. These are questions I would have to ask instead of sitting up here thinking about it.
yeah, and that's fine. And then I want you, as you ask that, I want you to make sure this is part of your process. So let's put
So
pause on this. Go
So
ahead.
it is a part of the process. Like we definitely ask a whole lot of open-ended questions because video is so subjective. I need them to talk as much as they can as it pertains to what they want to see. But the difference between what you're saying and what we do is I don't take that information and apply it for other things. So
Yeah.
that's what a missing link is.
Yeah. So what I would say to you, putting pause on this for a second, is how do you build the infrastructure to your business? Like, do you have how do you keep records of stuff? Is it through Google Docs? Like, how do you manage your projects?
When you say manage my projects, what do you mean?
Well, you got to show up at the video place. How do you know that you need 42 pieces of equipment or 14? Like, where are you, how do you run checklists or anything that you need?
Oh, okay. It's in my head.
Yeah. That's not a good place for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would say to you, and we can think about this, is there's no good time to do this, but at some point you need to have what I would call a project management platform. And here's why. Okay. So for example, let's go here. I'm just going to show you Basecamp because it's what I use. It doesn't matter what you use. This is just an example. Don't buy into Basecamp. There's other things too. Everyone's speaking really affectionately of ClickUp, and it's free. So there's things like that, but this is important for a reason. So let's say, what am I doing? Toolkit sales. Here we go. Okay, toolkit sales. Okay. So I'm going to go on a sales call. I'm about to have a meeting. And the reason why this is so hugely important is because if you don't have things spelled out clearly, then you can't add to them quickly, right? So there's just what's in your head is a rotating thing. The human brain can remember between 3 and 7 things. And often it's very difficult. You rotate out the stuff that you don't remember, right? So you remember 1, 5, and 6, 2, whatever. So, and it's very taxing on the brain. Plus, I always tell people that you can't run a business on memory. Nobody hands somebody an organ at FedEx and says, get this to the Chicago hospital. You've got the address, right? Like that's not how. In order to be more efficient, to replicate it, to have consistency, McDonald's billion-dollar company run on teenagers, it's because they have a template, right? So when I go in here, in this case, and we'll build these things out as we're building things out, is I might say, okay, I got a call. Here's my sales call. Now, here's my sales. I click right here. Here's my language hit list. This is language that has been built out over my experience with my clients and over podcasts and all these things. And I have key words in here from my mentors or trainings and stuff that I've taught you, like, say, tell me more, tell me more. I specifically have to write this friggin' thing down because I jump in and I get too excited. I have to say, put it on mute, right? And then I make sure I ask them about their pain points, blah, blah, blah. And then the keywords, just like you. Now, I've been doing this a long time. So half the time this is open. I don't have to look at it anymore because I know these keywords. But what will happen next is I'll change them. But I had this spelled out more importantly than anything is when I do this, I go, oh, really quickly. Somebody asked me to hop on a sales call. I can click here really quickly and my slideshow. Now you may say, I don't need to do all that. I ask a lot of questions, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your process is, we want it to be able to be systemized and we want to be able to build on it so that in the case of when you're doing your next sales call, I added to my sheet of, oh, this is a new, somebody said to me last week, Chris, my future is shrinking. Like every day I realize this idea I had of my future is moving further and further away. And I thought, oh, that's a really good phrase. You're shrinking my future. So I put that in I have a little sheet with little phrases from what my clients give me of their pain points. And I can make a video on that, but then I'll say it to somebody else. I'll say, I had a client last week and she said, oh, my future keeps shrinking. And she's like, that's how I feel. Okay. But I've been writing them down. So what we want to do, and you can start off with Google Docs. It's not a great place to work for a couple of years, but it's fine for now. And make sure you have a list because we're going to be throwing a lot of effective tools at you. Even if that wasn't the case, in order for you to scale, you have to be able to put stuff on top of stuff. And if you're trying to remember it all, it's what I used to find is years ago when I would try to think, oh, I know my business better than anybody else. I remember it all. Sometimes I'd be driving down the street and I think, I have this great idea. And then I'd find out like next week, I had that great idea 4 months ago, but I forgot about it because it was rotated out and I was busy, right? Mm-hmm. So with all this stuff that I'm teaching you, we have to have a way to systematize it and cement it so that we're building on stuff, not rotating it.
Okay. Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
That way I can hop on a sales call really quickly, or whenever I see something, like here's an example. When I was doing a training video, I'm interviewing people for Win the Hour, Win the Day. So I'm hiring somebody for one of my clients. And in my step, it will say, remove earbuds for Camtasia. Because the first couple of times I did a Zoom call, and then I have my sheet over here with Google Docs, and I've recorded with Camtasia the whole thing, so people can see in my training what notes I'm writing about this person I'm interviewing. And it's a great over-the-shoulder tool, right?
Right.
But if I have my earbuds in, Zoom records what I'm saying. It doesn't record this, what they're saying it doesn't on the screen. So I had to, oh no, make sure when you record Camtasia, you don't have your earbuds in, right? Because like, oh, it was a great interview, but they couldn't hear the other person, right? So it's little things like that you don't want to remember. Oh, I forgot we haven't done this in 6 weeks if I don't do blah, 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 right? So I have a process for everything so I don't have to remember. So we want to build on those processes so you're not relearning the same painful lessons.
Got you.
Okay. All right. But yeah, that's what I do. I have over the shoulder, people see me hire and train, and I'm making notes. And then I end the interview over here, and I'll say really quickly to the camera, okay, this is why you thought they presented well, but their answer was rehearsed. It showed me they couldn't think. They weren't that dynamic. I'm looking for character over skill set, blah, blah, blah. And it just changes everything.
Okay.
All right. So big deal there. Okay. Now we're doing a lot, and I am throwing a lot at you. It's a lot of moving pieces, but I mean, I think you can keep up, but also just remember, don't let it get overwhelming, and we're doing a lot of things at the same time. Okay. One sec. Okay. 1 second. All right. So we got pain points, hugely important. Okay. Past failures, what excites them. Okay. And we want to get them to where? Where do they want to go? There's two really interesting, so here's an example. Although I didn't finish it. There's this show on Netflix. I forget her name. She's a really good actress. Octavia Spencer. I don't know if you know her.
No.
She's a black woman, and she's really funny. And she's doing this Netflix series about the first black female millionaire that built her own company. And it's about hair at the turn of the century. And so when you're watching it, she's talking to the ladies about like their maids and their all this other stuff. I mean, there's still the dialogue of like, you know, the grandfather said, listen, I got freed 20 years ago. Don't boss me around. I'm not your slave. So it's after the slavery thing. And so there's a lot of women who are still maids and all this other stuff. So her whole thing with the hair care, when I was watching this, is, you know what? The hair is stopping the black woman from her next station in life because she looks like a maid, right? So she's selling this hair care product to the women, and she's saying, look, you're so busy taking care of other people's houses, you're working for all these horrible fees, and you can't take care of yourself. How are you going to get that better job? How are you going to get that job at the hotel? So she's got this hair thing that looks just like this, and she's selling them a new lifestyle by the fact that if they take care of their hair, people will treat them differently, and they can rise up, and the whole culture can change, and they can make a better life for their children, right?
Wow. Okay.
So you see how it's hair product for a woman, which sounds very vain, but she turned it into a revolution. Like, not only can you make more money for you today, but you can change how people view black women, and that will change how people view your children, right? Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. And there's another, yeah, pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
And there's another woman I just saw on the internet, and she does it about red lipstick. And you think there is a quadrillion million kinds of lipsticks out there, and I'm sure half the quadrillion is red. And her whole thing tied to the red lipstick is be bold and confident enough to wear red lipstick. Throw your shoulders back, be proud, speak your mind. And it's all tied into red lipstick is so bright. Are you confident enough to wear your red lipstick? So she's tied it into a social movement of confidence. So you're like, oh, I need to get her red lipstick. She's named the really funky, confident names. So all of a sudden she's created a whole movement, right? Mm-hmm. Over a product that I frankly would have thought was oversaturated, you know? So that's what I want you to understand. Everything's tied to emotion, and a video is not just a video. If she can start a revolution with hair balm, you know, oh my gosh, from people who just, many of them, the generation before them were slaves, like that's a bit of a leap. You would wonder, how do we get from slavery to hair balm, right? Like that doesn't seem like it would be meaningful for all that they've gone through. You'd think hair balm, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I want you to really understand is when I talk to you about where do they want to go, tell me, you know, what's the destination? What will make them happy?
Okay.
Because we need all kinds of versions of this because, you know, I can't like we want to stop somebody in their tracks when they're scrolling, because that's how you do. You read with your thumb, you're scrolling. So when the first thing you're doing is you're looking for objections that don't fit you, so you don't have to buy. But if you go, well, no, I can't afford that. Oh, if you're like Steve, strapped for cash. Oh, I am. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. If you're like Sarah, who says, I don't have time for this. Oh, darn it. I don't have time. I don't have money. This is me, right? So that's what we need to do.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep, I can work on that.
Okay. Do you have good copious notes? Are you good with that?
I don't know what copious is, but I got great notes.
Okay. Okay. And also your logo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Nope, I got enough homework and enough work to do.
Okay. No, I've had my belly full of you, Chris. We're good.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. Okay. All righty then. Can go. Can. Okay. Can you do 1 p.m. next Thursday?
Yep.
For Eastern time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure can.
Okay. Now, this is a big project, but it's going to segue into a lot of other things, and it's going to be really powerful when it comes together. Right. And it's going to allow us to do other things and get you out there. So
okay.
I got big plans. It's not sequential, but I'm just trying to, I got big plans for you. That's what I got.
All right. I love it.
Yeah. I'm not messing around. I'll be like, yeah, you know that guy with the red glasses? Yeah.
I know, right?
I know his name. Yeah. I mean, he knows my name.
Right.
That's going to be, yeah. I'm connected to him.
Yeah. I love it. All right, good to go, Chris. I guess I'll see you next week with this work.
Okay. All right. Have fun.
Thank you much. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.